Hello everyone, and welcome to Let's Play Stronghold Crusader 2, with me, TheDragoclaw. So, I could not get Rise and Fall Civilizations at War to work. I don't know what was going on, but it was just not accepting my disk on my new computer, so I had to try and install it multiple times. I even had to download the cracked version off the internet, and put that together and make that work my computer. It didn't want to do it then. I just had to keep trying and trying, and eventually I found a solution to my problem, and Rise and Fall now works. However, before that happened, I bought Stronghold Crusader 2, and now I'm going to LP it for you. So this game is about 30 quid on Steam. Don't know how that translates to American dollars. You can find that out for yourself just by opening Steam. But it was released a week ago, I think, a week or two ago, sometime in the mid-Septembers. And I've been playing it ever since. I'm not the greatest at the game. Let me just start this off by saying that I am not even remotely good at the game. I just happen to have the game and kind of like it, so I thought I'd show you guys how it works. And also there is a distinct lack of Stronghold Crusader 2 LPs out there. At least there was when I last checked. So hopefully I'm going to add to the stockpile. Give you guys something to watch, and hopefully you guys can tell me how to play the game better, seeing as I said, I'm not the greatest at the game. So I'm going to start with a single player. Well, I'm going to do single player. I don't think there is multiplayer. Is there multiplayer? There is multiplayer. Well, I don't know anyone who owns the game, so that won't be happening. Yeah, so you can see there's a lot of options for single player stuff. There's tutorials, campaigns, and custom skirmishes, even community-made maps. That's all well and good. I'm going to play a custom skirmish. I don't like campaigns and strategy games. I think they're pointless and often completely boring and redundant. So I'm just going to play a skirmish match. Now, thankfully this game has a lot of options already in it in terms of map and just general playstyle. In the skirmish games, so there's definitely a lot to have a look through. I am going to be playing on Cloverleaf, mostly because it reminds me of a nice map from Rise and Fall, but it's also a very good place to just start off and learn to play. This is the first map I played on, and I actually won the first fight I played. I've not won a game since, so that's why I'm going back to this map. But yeah, there's definitely lots of interesting maps you can play on, from like 2-player all the way up to 8 players. This is all balance sign, indicates whether or not the map is balanced for multiple people, or just, you know, one person has the upper hand and it's up to the others to take it from them. Which is quite nice. I like to have both the indication and the fact that they have both types of options available to you. But yeah, as I said, I'm going to play on Cloverleaf. I'm going to try and explain as much as I can about this game to the best of my knowledge. So, as I said, I'm not the greatest at this game, but I've played a few hours of it, so I kind of know how it works. Hopefully this will be just an LP that people can just look at and see generally how to play the game. Nothing you wouldn't get from doing the tutorial, but you know, maybe you will pick up something. Maybe something disastrous will happen to me and you'll learn from a catastrophe. But hopefully I win. I'm going to say that now. But yeah, there isn't really any difficulty settings, first of all. You get a choice of 8 lords. Some of them are innately worse than the others, like the rat, and I believe the wolf is not that bad. Nope, I was completely wrong. Slave King, I think, is the least. I think these 3 are the worst. Not entirely sure. I know the rat is definitely bad. Definitely played against him, and he's yeah. So I'm actually going to choose these 3. Just because these are 3 I played with last time, and I won. So again, that's what I'm hoping for. You can change the teams in this interface by just sort of click on people's names, like dragging them on top of each other. But we're not going to have that. We're going to do a free-for-all. Another thing to note is right here you can see whether or not you start with large amounts of supplies. I'm going to go with medium starting good, just because that is the default, but I am going to put the advantage heavily in my favour, because I'm still learning this game, so screw the computer. Down here you'll see some advanced options. This is where you can set individually the resources you get. So if you want more just general resources from the start, you can pick that. If you want more food or weapons from the start, if you want more troops or gold from the start, you can choose that. You can also choose starting piece, which I'm going to put on for 10 minutes. Just because, again, new to this game and I hate rushing. So I'm going to put that on just for 10 minutes so we can get established and no one has to rush. Also, I'm doing an LP, so I'm going to be talking about everything I'm doing, which is going to eat a lot of time. And also random events, you can enable these. I'll put them on low just so you can see what happens, but they're usually very annoying. And you can also change the autosave interval. Let's close that. Another thing you should note when you're looking at this part of the map is, first of all, I'm going to change the colour of a rat. Let's change you to pink. Just because I don't like how the greens are so similar. Because it's hard to tell units apart sometimes. I mean, they are all enemies, so I suppose it doesn't really matter, but it's kind of nice to know who you're killing. Also, if you want to, if you don't want to start down in this corner, for example, you can click and drag the icon of a person and like move them all around. So there you go. That's how you move around in the map. And if you want to remove a computer player, you just like click the boot button there to kick them.
Sure.
I think that's about it. You can add random lords, but yeah, I've picked my lords. I think that's everything in the menu, so let's just click start.
Place your stockpile, my lord.
Okay, did that pause the game? Yeah, pause. Okay, B to pause the game, by the way. So, this is the game. You can see here is our little dugout. Much like Abyss on Rise and Fall, a single entrance. Just a huge hole that no one else can get up here and shoot you across from. So there's one entrance, very easy to defend, and you've got an oasis-ish thing here without the pool. Iron over here and rocks down here. So you've got all the resources you need, and it's got a fairly large estate. So, unlike games like Rise and Fall, in this you're restricted to where you can build. You can build some things outside of your own estate, but most of your buildings, like your fort and your barracks and houses and things like that, you can only build within this little hole. If I click this button here, it will toggle estates, which will only come into effect when I unpause the game. And you can see on the map exactly where your estate is. It's highlighted in your colour. Mine is red. First thing you'll be asked to do is to place your stockpile. Your stockpile is where you put all your stone, iron, wood, everything like that. That's where you put it all. So it's generally good to put it in a location near all of that. Unfortunately, our resources are all spread all over the place, so it's going to be kind of hard to position this. I think I'm going to position it up here. Although that is staying there, that's because I right-clicked, so I disbanded placing the building, but it was still frozen there because it's paused. I don't know why it does that, probably just a glitch. Iron is not nearly as important as the other two, I think. So I'm going to put my stockpile in the middle of the wood and the stone. I think that's a smart idea. Alright, now unpause the game.
Granary, sire.
And now we have to put down our granary, which will be where we keep our food. So let's put that round about there, which is where all the fertile land is. You can only put food things on the fertile land. You start with a bunch of soldiers. I can't do anything while paused. It's really annoying. So I'm trying to explain everything. I don't want the timer ticking down. Alright, so yeah, you can see we started out with a bunch of troops here. If I zoom in, you can see them all. Usually it's like 10 archers, 10 soldiers, and then a few other random people. You've also got this guy up here in the keep. This is us. If he dies, we all die. So protect him at all costs. I think that's everything to start off with. Here's our granary. We start with a certain amount of food, and as long as we have at least one food item in stock, then people won't die. So that's what we're going to work on first. Let's put down a few orchards. Now, because I've enabled what do you call it? Random events, it's good to split up your production between 2 or 3 different food items. Just because sometimes there's a special event which destroys all of your crops of one particular type, and you're like, oh man, now I have no food. Then your people die. So, yeah, bear that in mind. Next, I'm going to put down a few wood camps. 1, 2, 3, because wood is a very important resource in this game. And while I still have wood, I'm going to put this quarry over here and a quarry over here.
It's not
I'll
enough
pause
workers
the game.
able to run this building.
Okay, so each of these buildings needs one of our workers. Our population is shown up here, and we can add population by building little hovels. Now, you'll notice the further away from the keep we get, the building changes design and the fewer people can live inside it. So it's best to keep your hovels near your keep. However, I like to put a, well, I kind of like to put a wall around my keep. So does the AI. Like, it really likes to do that. You'll see that's often the first thing it does, just surrounds its keep in a wall to protect it, which is an okay idea, but I prefer to put my wall right here. I'm going to bring it back a little bit just so I can put defences on the outside. Then just do that. Don't quite have enough of those. Also, one thing I forgot. You need to put down an ox tether over here so that we can actually start shipping the stone to our stockpile. They have an area of effect around them, like you can see this highlighted area. I'm not sure how well it will show up on YouTube, but it's, I don't know, about 10 tiles wide, I'd guess, or in radius. I like to have one per thing just so we can ship it fairly quickly, but I think one for both would work as well. Alright, now here are lumberjacks here, bringing wood to the stockpile, which we desperately need. I'm not entirely sure how much they drop off each. It kind of looks around about 16. But I'm not 100% on that. Actually, I'm kind of 100% on that now, because 3 of them just came and dropped off stuff, and we now have 48 left. You'll also notice that the further away you build from the keep, the less it costs. So it is directly proportional to how many people live inside it. Which is, you know, to be expected. I'm gonna just cut out a middleman and buy a couple logs, because I would like to get this started as soon as I can. As I said, I'm gonna leave a gap between this and the keep for a while. You don't need tons of houses. This isn't SimCity. We just need 1 or 2. Well, more than 1 or 2, but maybe around 10. Should last us most of the game. Also, I'm going to take a sip of tea, so sorry if you hear slopping. Okay, so now we've got workers, we can work this stone mill, or quarry, whatever you want to call it. and they'll start making stones and shipping it back over here, which we can then use to build stuff with. As long as we get this wall up and running within 6 minutes, we're fine. Another important thing to get working on as soon as you can is your barracks, which I am just gonna do right now. I'll put my barracks next to my keep. No particular reason why I do that, just I do. Let's just draw out a quick line, just so I kind of know where the outline of my keep's going to be. You'll notice we've got various different types of wall. A stone curtain wall, which is thinner. I don't think you can put people on these, or if you can, they're like 1 person thick. I like to use the regular stone wall because it's thicker and just in general more useful. I don't think I've ever really used a stone wall or a curtain wall. And we've got 2 gatehouses, a smaller one and a bigger one. I presume the bigger one can take more hits. It can also have people on top of it. If you have a curtain gatehouse in the middle of this wall, it kind of splits the wall off into 2 different parts, so you can't actually go straight across it. But with the big one you can. Various different types of tower. I believe they only differ in cost, size, number of people you can put in them, and hit points. So, you know, I usually go over medium tower. Sometimes I'll go over grand one. I don't think I've used a watchtower before. And then we've got a variety of artillery we can put on top of walls, or, well, we can put them anywhere, to be honest. They're just like a catapult on stilts, or a ballista on stilts, or a hay chucker on stilts. The catapult here fires like a frag round, I guess you could call it. It's like the that Roman shotgun from Rise and Fall. Stupid catapult they have. Then you've got the tower ballista, which is like pinpoint. It's a ballista. It's like a really large arrow. It can go pretty far. Like it could probably go to the edge of someone else's estate from the edge of mine. And then you've got the hay bale chucker, which is like just a burning haystack that they throw on people. It's pretty effective. Okay, now, arguably I should also be focusing on other things while I'm talking to you guys about this, but I don't really know what they are, so I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I feel like as long as I get this wall up before the no rush time is over, I should be good.
New orders.
How are we doing? We're doing pretty well. +9 happiness. You lose a happiness for every person in your city, and for modifiers here which can be positive or negative. For example, if I increase tax, we get a -10, but if I decrease food rations, we get a -6. The day-night cycle is very hard to tell. The only way you'll know if it's day or night is, well, when this day counter goes up. There's no real night time. How are we doing? Okay, 66. That should be enough to complete our wall. Okay, I lied. Gonna wait for this next ox to get in. I wonder how much stone an ox can carry. Quite a lot, apparently. Alright. Just gonna make it go all the way into the wall, just in case, because I don't know how good the pathfinding is in this. Alright, let's go over here and put a stone stair into the wall. And can't afford a gatehouse just yet, but at least we got our wall.
Get up on those walls!
Come on.
Get up on those walls!
There we go. Yeah, so much like in Rise and Fall, you can put your archers on the walls. unlike in Rise and Fall, this is actually a good idea. I believe the higher they are, the longer range they have. Although don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on a lot of things, to be honest. Okay, well, I think that'll do for the first episode. Thank you for watching, and hopefully next time we'll continue to do okay. Well, I suppose with no rush time will run out then, so we'll see just how good I am doing. So yeah, I'll see you next time.